Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Watch. Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
Welcome everyone to the Smack Raw Podcast Slammiversary 2020 recap show. My name is SES Vince. I got my boy RN, aka Mr. 8984, with me tonight. This is a first. We haven't done an actual recap for an Impact Wrestling pay-per-view since Bound for Glory, and that was more or less talking about the weekend festivities that I had with Benji. Like I said, we are the Smack Raw Podcast. You can find us right here on youtube.com/SmackRaw Podcast. You can also find us wherever you consume all your audio podcasts. And of course, we are the exclusive wrestling podcast for WrestlingNewsWorld.com. Go ahead and check them out. They have a very fun event coming up July 25th. So we will go ahead and be showing an ad in the teaser for what's coming up for that, the Garden State Invitational. But we are here to talk about Slammiversary. RN, dude, how are you feeling about tonight's show? There was a lot of hype leading into the event. What do you think?
I was pumped going into it, but I don't think it quite delivered.
Okay, what do you feel like they missed the boat on for you tonight?
All the surprises, none of them were surprises. I feel like they shouldn't have let that. They shouldn't have let it known that the Good Brothers were coming or any of that. Like the Motor City Machine Guns was all right, but I mean, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
like same with Rick Swan and fucking Eric Young, like, and we all suspected already pretty much knew EC3 was coming, so I don't really see where there was any surprises.
For sure. I mean, I think the real big surprise of the evening was when Motor City Machine Guns came out, because I was not expecting that. So we'll start off right where the show began. We started things off with the Rascals Open Challenge. They laid this on us earlier in the week, so we didn't actually get a chance to predict this. We assumed, or at least the majority of the wrestling community assumed, that this would be the Good Brothers filling in this spot, but it wasn't. Motor City Machine Guns came out. They answered the challenge. I thought this was a really good match, and like I said, there was the one surprise I did not see coming. They used the fact that everybody knew the Good Brothers were going to be on Slammiversary as a decoy to go ahead and re-debut Motor City Machine Guns, and very quickly they're establishing themselves and going right into the heat of things in the tag team division. Overall, what's your thoughts on this match?
It was a pretty decent match. I mean, you could tell the Motor City Machine Guns, they aren't what they used to be. Right. But they still were pretty dope, and they still kept up pretty much with the Rascals. So it was a good match. It really was.
Man, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm kind of disappointed. I'm a Rascals kind of guy. I fuck with the Rascals heavy, and I love the Machine Guns. But at the same time, when are they going to put the straps on the Rascals, man? I feel like it's long overdue. Desmond Xavier is one of my favorite guys in the entire roster. I don't get it. Yes, you go ahead and re-debut, reintroduce an established legend tag team in Impact Wrestling, but still, man, I kind of hope the Rascals do end up getting those straps, because it's long overdue.
It's so many. They have some pretty decent tag teams there now, so it's like, are they pushed down? Are they pushed up? We'll see how it goes with all these people debuting and stuff.
Right. And look, this isn't like a jab, because like I've kind of been pegged as the AEW hater of the podcast. I don't hate on them, but there's just more tag teams in Impact Wrestling that I like more so than AEW's tag team division. I love Lucha Bros. I love the Young Bucks and FTR New Edition. But you look at Impact Wrestling, now you have Machine Guns, you have the Good Brothers, you have the Rascals, you have the North, and with the surprise, we'll talk about it later on, but we might be having a reunited tag team later down the line here in Impact Wrestling, a former SmackDown Tag Team Champion. So we'll see. Eventually, Machine Guns do get the win with, I believe the Dirt Bomb is what it's called. I thought this was a good match. They kept up with the Rascals. I'd like to see more of this. Very, very good way to kick off the show.
Yeah, and I wasn't cool with the finish to begin with, but then once we saw later on the evening why, then now I understood it better, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it made sense given what they were like building up in after after along in the show. So it made
Yeah.
sense. It made sense. Booking wise, it sucks being a fan of the Rascals and knowing full well that they should be tag champions by now. So
Right.
moving on to someone who should just be the official world champion of Impact Wrestling, especially given what we saw at the end of the show tonight. We had the
Right.
TNA Championship match between Tommy Dreamer and Moose, which was held under old school rules, which basically means hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
And Moose, correct me if I'm wrong, but he debuted the TNA title with a white strap. This is the first time he's done that, right?
This is the first time he's done that, but they've done it before. But
No, I meant like this is the first time.
This is the first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because for the record, guys, I mean, yeah, we cover mostly like the big pay-per-views and stuff like that. We don't really get a chance to like look to see what's going on in Impact. We're trying to make a change in that. But man, that title looked amazing. That looked amazing. The white really added to it. And then Moose looks like $1,000,000. That entrance alone, he should be the face of Impact, man. He's Mr. Impact Wrestling for a reason.
I don't get what they're going through. Like I think it'll probably be like a unification match for it or whatever to get it out of there.
Right.
This is my favorite storyline in Impact is Moose's storyline and Moose's thread of the TNA World Champion. Like this is the best part of the show to me every single time.
For sure. I mean, for the majority of this match, Moose dominated, and for a good spell there, it kind of felt a little sloppy. But you were to imagine, Dreamer's a little bit older, but also this is also like a street fight, hardcore rules type match, so it's gonna be a little bit sloppy, and it kind of like leans into the stipulation of the match. I love the spot where Moose goes to like runs up the ropes to try to like hit something on Dreamer, and then ends up getting hit with a cutter through the trash can. I thought that was the spot of the night for that specific match.
Yeah, that was dope. And the spot where he slammed him and came back and did the standing moonsault on him.
Yes. Oh, and then later on to like almost finish off the match where Dreamer introduces the thumbtacks and Moose gets like milli-inches or whatever it's fucking called, close to like slamming and just like grinding Dreamer's face into the thumbtacks. That visual was amazing. If I can find it, that's gonna be the thumbnail, because he was like literally this close to the thumbtacks, and then he hulks up, gets out of it. Moose does eventually pick up the win after he's done toying with Dreamer, hits the lights out spear, like the name of the finish. Kind of wish people would stop using the spear. This is like the 20th guy they use the spear. The spear and the super kick are kind of like overdone at this point. But I sound like
in his defense, he has been using it for pretty much his whole career.
True, I get it, and it makes sense that he's like a football guy and like he tackles. But it's like I feel like the only person that should be using the spear is Roman Reigns and maybe Lashley, and that's about it.
I don't think any of them should use it.
Why? Like you don't think it's like a good enough finisher?
No, I think it's a terrible finisher.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Terrible.
Oh my gosh. By the way, Loyalty J TTV says, "What's up, fabulous friends?" I'm assuming that's Jay. If not, whichever Jay you may be, thank you for joining in and watching us, man.
Absolutely, thank you.
So yeah, going back to this match, I thought it was solid. It was good, and commentary alluded to the fact that Moose toys around and he's not mature enough to be world champion. That Don Callis even alluded to the fact that he needs a manager similar to like a Paul Heyman to like really get the best out of him. Do you think that's the case? Do you think that's the story they're actually going to go?
Probably. I mean, they wouldn't have said it if they didn't, and especially not Callis, being that he's one of the heads of the fucking company, so he probably is going to get a manager. I don't think he needs one. No. I think he's been getting better and better as time goes on. He's better on the mic. He's not as clunky on the mic as he used to be. Like, again, I don't know if this is just their way of like keeping him relevant without putting him in a title picture or what, but he needs to be at the top of the show.
Okay, for sure. Okay, but honestly, I think he should be the top face of the company. We've already established that right now. So, Moose picks up the win here. We'll see where he goes on. Do you think it's too soon to do the unification match, or do you think they're gonna like wait later on?
I think they're gonna wait later on.
Okay, cool. Sounds good, man. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and acknowledge the chat for a little bit. Loyalty J, according to Kyle, is actually a new regular. So I'm sorry, Jay. Thank you for watching the stream. We appreciate you being on here. I haven't actually been on the live stream because, NXT, we don't do that. We haven't had a chance to until now. We will be live streaming NXT going forward. But thank you for watching. Matt Ritter says, Impact marks. Screw you, Matt. Fuck off. Enjoy Impact. D-Rod's in the chat saying, yo, everybody. I'm like, what's up, D-Rod? Let's get into the next match. This, for me, I was the most excited for. Obviously, as you can see with my t-shirt right here, man, I got my girl Kylie Ray. She started off the match against Tasha Steelz. This was the Knockouts number one contenders gauntlet match. And rules are a little bit different. This isn't your normal gauntlet match. It wasn't even a gauntlet match to begin with.
I was going to say, it wasn't a gauntlet match. It was a Royal Rumble.
It was a Royal Rumble up until you get to the final two, and it becomes a singles, like a traditional singles match. I like the concept, but the fact that you call it a gauntlet match is very misleading. They actually did a similar thing over on Bound for Glory. I actually was able to watch that, and that was the first time me ever...
Well, WCW used to do that. Like, they used to have, I think at the end of World War, there's like 3 fucking ring thing. Like, the last 2, it would be a singles match at the end.
Yeah. Synergy Pro Wrestling is in the chat. It's like, hey, it's the crew. Hey, how's it going, Synergy? We're glad to see you here. So yeah, started things off with Tasha Steelz versus Kylie Ray. I love this, man. Kylie Ray, we've been saying this. She could be the biggest face in that Knockouts division going forward, man. They need to strap the rocket on her and shoot her to the freaking moon. And Tasha Steelz was a great foil for her to start off the match. The thing that really threw me off was Taya Valkyrie came in next. Yeah. But it was actually Johnny Bravo, her manager or valet or whatever, who was eliminated very shortly, like thereafter. And he comes out later again, dressed as Rosemary, and is eliminated by Kylie Ray. Kylie Ray, by the way, is a fucking joy to watch because she accidentally eliminated Johnny Bravo later on, dressed as Rosemary, and felt so bad about the whole thing. Like, the commentary keeps saying, like, oh, she's just so, like,
too nice.
She's just too nice for her own good. Maybe that's the story that plays into Kylie, that when because she, spoiler, she did win this gauntlet match, but going into that title picture, she's gonna have to learn to not be so nice towards her opponents. Next up, number 4, Kimberly, technically number 3. She came in, followed by Kiera Hogan, and then Kiera Hogan came in, and she was actually working with Tasha Steelz, who have established a tag team, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, they've been together for a few weeks now. Yeah. They're actually pretty legit together. They got like instant chemistry. Like it's literally like it's a on par almost with the Iconics. Like nowhere near as good as the Iconics, but their chemistry just starting out is fucking ridiculous.
For sure. I need to check more of that stuff out, and that's exactly what tonight's about, to slowly bridge the gap for us to start watching and covering a little bit more Impact regularly. After that, we had Susie that came out to try to make the save for Kylie Ray, because they've established a weird, awkward friendship type situation as well, right?
Yeah, she's been kind of like being Kylie's bodyguard and shit, like looking out for her and stuff, and like trying to like low-key serial killer style on the low, you know what I'm saying? But
right,
yeah, she's been her muscle pretty much.
Dude, I love Susie a little bit more than Su Yung. She's a little bit more creepier than Su Yung too, man. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what it is about her, man. Man, I think her just being a little bit too nice, it amps the creepiness level. It just does more for me. So, like I was saying, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz start to target Kylie. Susie comes out at number 6 to make the save for Kylie. They established a buddy relationship there. Katie Forbes comes out, who was built from Torque City. Yo, shout out to Katie Forbes, man. I fucking love Katie Forbes. She can do no wrong. She's great. Followed by that,
she wasn't too bad in the ring either.
No, she can hold her own. She's solid. She's a solid hand for that division. We also had Madison Rayne. She came out at number 8, who was eliminated by Kylie. Honestly, Kylie went ahead and did a lot of the elimination here. She had a strong showing throughout. She eliminated Kimberly. She eliminated Madison Rayne later on. Following that, we had Havoc. She comes out at number 9, and at one point, she actually goes ahead and tries to eliminate Taya and Rosemary, because Taya came out at number 10. and that she's got him in like a choke slam position, and she's getting ready to like tilt him over, and that's where Johnny Bravo comes in, dressed as
Rosemary.
Dressed as Rosemary, and then eliminates Havoc, which I was disappointed because I love Havoc. I know she's an Ohio girl, so I know you're familiar with her. She should be up there, man. She should be up in the card, man. I don't think she should have been eliminated so soon and so easily by Johnny Bravo.
I think it was a way to just establish what the top of the card was going to be moving forward. She's always in that upper mid card range anyway. Like, I mean, she's been a part of the title picture for a while now.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Number 11, Alicia Edwards came out. Number 12 was Nevaeh, who at one point did team up with Havoc. And number 13, finally, number 13 was Rosemary to come out. And eventually, this came down to the final three of Rosemary, Taya Valkyrie, and Kylie Ray. And commentary was making it seem like, oh, this is a huge disadvantage for Kylie. This doesn't bode well for her. But in reality, it's like once it came down to those final three, I knew Rosemary wasn't going to win. Taya, even though she's a good choice, she's entangled with Rosemary. To quote Jada Pinkett Smith, she was entangled with Rosemary. Yeah, she was in an entanglement with Rosemary. So at that point, I kind of knew that it was going to be Kylie Ray to go ahead and get the win. If they came down to the final two of Kylie Ray and Taya Valkyrie, Kylie got the win with a super kick. Who would have guessed that in 2020 a super kick would actually win the match?
Yeah.
The results of the match, man. Overall, do you think this is the right choice?
Yeah, I mean, we both picked her to win this anyway. I mean, she's been on the run since she's got there. I mean, and she's dope in the ring. Her character's a little Bailey-ish for me, but she's so dope in the ring, it makes up for any shortcomings the character may have.
Gotcha, for sure, man. So that set up Kylie Ray to take on either the winner of Jordan Grace or Deonna Purrazzo. And honestly, looking at where everything shook out, I'm really intrigued to see where this Knockouts division goes forward. After this, commentary were like the ring announcers that were trying to plug the DVD for Slammiversary, and Heath Slater just comes in, grabs a mic, which by the way, it was a shitty ass mic. Like you could barely
all night. The audio was terrible all night.
Yeah, props to Impact. They put on a good show. Little tinkers here and there that they need to work on. But Heath Slater came out. He cut a promo saying that he's here on Impact Wrestling now, saying that he wants in on the main event. He wants to be one of the final surprise mystery guys to challenge for that title. He gets interrupted and attacked by Rajit. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name. Rajit. Okay. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing his name right because I had no idea who he was leading up to this pay-per-view. But he holds his own, Heath Slater does, and stands tall. He has a really cool free agent shirt, which I might go ahead and pick up. What do you think, man? Heath Slater in Impact Wrestling, is that a big deal or not a big deal?
No, not to me it's not, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, he's never really had a chance to do anything besides these lame ass gimmicks he was stuck with. So we'll see how it goes. But I mean, it doesn't move the meter for me at all.
I mean, I was gonna save it until after the X Division title match, but we might as well cover it here. He's seen backstage and he runs into Rhino, his former tag team champion partner, and he gets interrupted by, I'm not sure who it was.
Scott D'Amore.
Okay, so he gets interrupted by him. It's like, look, guys, I'm glad that you guys are reunited. I know you guys haven't seen each other in forever. But he reminds Heath Slater that he's actually isn't signed, and due to COVID and restrictions, guests aren't really allowed. So he has to leave and gets kicked out.
You
got to go. And Rhino was like, "Don't worry, man. I'll figure it out. Just I'll get you to come back on Tuesday." So it looks like they're gonna play into the whole free agent gimmick that he's had going on for a good minute there, and it looks like they're gonna be thrusting him into a tag team with Rhino, which I think is the perfect way to debut him into Impact. And like we were just talking about with the Rascals, you have Machine Guns, you have the current champions, the North, you got the Good Brothers, and now you're gonna have Rhino and Slater all over again, dude. This is stacking up, and these are all tag teams that I'm invested in. No offense to Impact to AEW, I love AEW. It does a lot of great things for me. It's just more characters that I'm more invested in and I care more about. That's the only difference between the two brands for me at this point.
Well, and they're all actual tag teams, not just shit people threw together.
Shout to Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. I see. Let me check out the chat real quick, and then we'll talk about the X Division title. Let's see. Loyalty J says, "Thanks for getting me recapped on this. He missed the show tonight. Sorry you missed the show, Jay. You should definitely go back and check it out. It was a really solid show." Let's see. D-Rod and Kyle are interacting back and forth. Synergy Pro Wrestling is saying Hogan and Steels are real legit together. Love watching what they're doing. Couldn't agree with you more, Synergy. Matt Ritter says Vince would pay to guard Kylie's body. I don't know where you're implying, Matt, but you're throwing things into the universe that I don't want to be thrown out there. I love Kylie Ray. She's one of my favorites, but not in that kind of way. Kai Tai is saying RN looking like a dashing Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker, bro.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he's looking like dashing Forrest Whitaker. Okay, don't get the reference, but apparently you do, man. Let's see what else we got here. More interactions between D-Rod and Kyle. Let's see. Okay, it looks like that's all it was. Synergy Synergy does say, does Impact have the best non-WWE tag team roster in the world right now? Serious question. Synergy Pro Wrestling, yes, I think they do.
Yeah.
Non-WWE tag team roster, yes, I think they're better than AEW. There's more actual tag teams and more believable tag teams. Like, I like Lucha Bros, I like Young Bucks, and I love FTR, but outside of that, there's not too many tag. Yes, there's Best Friends, but I can't take Best Friends too seriously as a legit tag team. And I still, to this day, I can't get behind the Dark Order. I'm sorry, sue me. I can't get behind them. They're just not my cup of tea.
They lost me. Like, I was all in on it to begin with, and they've lost me too.
Gotcha. All right, so moving on. X Division title match between the current champion Willie Mack and the challenger Chris Bay. Wow, was this a fast-paced match? I loved it. Yeah. Great. To the bone. I think you called it. This might have been the best match of the night.
Oh, it was definitely the best match of the night to me, for sure. Which is what we expected coming out the gate for this anyway. I mean, these two are the reasons why I even started watching Impact again to begin with. And, I mean, that neither one of them disappoint. I mean, then the things that Willie Mack can do for a 300-pound man is just fucking mind-blowing, bro. Like,
dude.
It's his high-flying stuff and everything is way better than Keith Lee's, and that's saying something.
Yeah. And Keith Lee's a big guy. He can get up there. But, dude, Willie Mack makes the fluffy side of me believe that I can be athletic. And that's not a good thing. Because I am not athletic. I can barely get off the ground. But he makes me believe that I can actually do things that no normal man should be able to do.
I mean, that just to hide on that frog splash, like, that's some shit right there, bro.
Yeah, man. It's phenomenal. It's really, really good. So, overall, what's your takes? Like, anything you can nitpick about this match? Was it like all across the board solid match, or do you feel like they should have done something differently here, especially with the finish?
Nah, the finish I kind of expected. I didn't want it to happen, but like I said on the prediction show, like, it was a win-win for me because these are my two favorite wrestlers in Impact. I don't think anything could have been different. I think they could have slowed it down just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Everything was like really fast-paced throughout the whole damn match. But for the most part, like, that's both their style. Believe it or not, even for Willie Mack being 300 pounds, like, all his matches are fast-paced, pretty much cruiserweight style matches, even though he's a super heavyweight damn near. So, and like I said, this is good.
I was just going to add to that and say that that's the one thing about the X Division that commentary alluded to, is that it's about a style. It's a certain pace.
It's not about a weight.
It's not about weight classes or anything like that, because obviously in the past you've seen guys like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and this is where Impact shines. Is their tag team division, their women's division, Knockouts division, and of course their X Division. These are the main three things that I come to Impact Wrestling to watch. And of course Moose is fucking gold on the goddamn mic and on TV in general.
Facts.
But yeah, dude, solid match. Chris Bay gets the win with his Art of Finesse finisher. Love the name, by the way. These are some really good original finishing names that you don't normally see on like WWE programming. So I thought this is good. Shout out to Chris Bay. I love Chris Bay. Hopefully, we might be able to like bring him over here to the SmackDown pod, or maybe he makes an appearance on Synergy Pro Wrestling. And speaking of Synergy Pro Wrestling, They're going to be holding a special events. We have a special ad for you guys. Go ahead and check it out. Let us know what you guys think.
The summer of synergy continues with the Garden State Invitational Tournament, live on Fight TV Saturday, July the 25th. M-Dog Matt Cross, Gary J, Myron Reed, Jordan Oliver, Tony Deppen, Gregory Iron, KTB, and Simon Gotch compete for GSI supremacy. Plus, Frightmare defends the Synergy Pro Wrestling Championship against Deshaun Pratt, and Ellis Taylor, Casey Catal, and TJ Crawford collide to find out who will wear the Cruiserweight crown. All on Fight TV, streaming live around the world. Saturday, July the 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern. All this for just $9.99. Who will win the second annual GSI? Tune in live and find out. For more information, log on to synergywrestling.com.
Okay, so that was Synergy Pro Wrestling's Garden State Invitational on July 25th. Again, go ahead and check that out. We were proud to be a sponsor and associated with their last event, for the first responders. And in this tournament, I got my eyes on Myron Reed. He's one of my guys. I've been watching him here in the AAW and in freelance a little bit here and there. I've also seen him in other promotions. I love Myron Reed. He's my guy to win the whole goddamn thing. So let's go back to Impact Wrestling, man. We had the tag team championship match between Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock, the challengers, taking on the champions, the North, who we've already stated on Twitter, and Ethan Page approved, that they are the best tag team globally across the world. They are the best tag team. Like, you agree with this, right? Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it was my take.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, okay. So, take us through this match. What did you enjoy? What you didn't enjoy? They were really playing up the fact that Sammy and Shamrock together were kind of like, I don't know, like the Batman and Robin. Yeah, like Batman, Robin, Lex Luthor, and Superman dynamic.
That part of the match, it didn't bother me because they just needed somebody for the North to fight. So, like, I mean, this was all kind of thrown together to begin with. But, I mean, this was just a match that showed everything what the North is about. I mean, the shit talking, psychology, the moves inside the ring. I mean, Josh Anderson is a fucking dog. I mean, and Ethan Page is just, I mean, he's ridiculous. So, but yeah, to me, they are the total package. They are everything you need one in a tag team. Like, they're a tag team that can carry a promotion, not just to be a great tag team. They could be the top draw for a company, being the tag champs.
Okay, yeah, for sure, man. Dude, honestly, like, Ethan Page on the mic is probably one of the best guys out there, man. Like, he really can't do no wrong on the mic. And then you got Josh Alexander, who really enforces the muscle, like kind of like a mini Batista almost, or like a Kurt Angle kind of guy that can go out there and like really connect. I thought the match was really good. There were a lot of good spots in there. Great tag team wrestling. At one point, I did lose track of who the League of Men were. That's my only nitpick about this match. Towards the end, I wasn't sure who was legal and who wasn't. Did you lose track of that too?
I thought it was all old school rules, man. I didn't know.
Like, but if it's old school rules, then I think that has to use the tag rope, and then they have to make sure they tag it. And now this feels like AEW tag team rules, where we don't know who's legal and they just go in whenever they fucking want to. That's the only thing I have to nitpick about this match. Other than that, I thought it was very good. I enjoyed the crap out of this match.
Old school rules, man.
For sure. The North, they get the win here with their finish. It was kind of like a double neutralizer slam. Loved it. I've never seen that before, and I love the North, and I've seen them so many times. I haven't really seen that too often, so like it's a nice refreshing pace to see all these different like tag team maneuvers, and they hit a couple here and there.
Yeah, they're dope. They're dope.
Like, the match was good, but the big talking point was after the match. The North got on the mic and they cut a promo talking about how they're the best. They said from the beginning that they're gonna dominate this tag team division. They're gonna be taking it over, rebranding in their image. A year ago, they've been tag team champions for over a year now. People laughed at them, and then now look at them now. They're out here running the tag team division. They're said that they're the best tag team in the history of Impact Wrestling. They have the most chemistry. They're the most well-oiled machine in this division. And the music hits, and the machine guns came out and interrupted them. And the minute this happened, I was fucking hyped because you knew where the shit was going, man. You knew we were going to get Machine Guns versus the North. And sure enough, this Tuesday on Impact Wrestling, which you can watch on twitch.tv. So if you don't have the channel, go ahead and check it out on Twitch. It's free. Why not watch it? Instead of watching AEW Dark or right after AEW Dark, go ahead and check this out. So we got the Machine Guns versus the North for the tag team titles coming up this Tuesday on Impact. I'm actually going to be watching, man. I'm going to try my darndest to keep track with Impact Wrestling. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it. I normally watch it during the day. That's how I caught up, like, because I work from home. So that's how I've been catching up on it. It was watching a couple episodes a day.
For sure, man. So I think what I'm going to do to make sure I can give Impact my time, I'm just going to go ahead and cut off Raw, like either Raw or SmackDown, and then just like go in. Like if it's SmackDown, I'm just gonna go for the Sasha and Bailey moments, and that's it.
Right.
Okay. Moving on, we had an interviewer trying to get an interview with the Good Brothers, and it's actually Rich Swann. So go ahead and let us know what this was about, man.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
The Rich Swann interview. Tell us what it was about.
I don't even remember. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh my gosh.
You got me.
Sorry, man.
This is one of those pop-up moments where it kept fucking cutting me out.
Oh, okay. See, I was trying to throw an alley-oop to you because I'm over here like choking and shit. I'm over here dying. I'm over here like, okay, RN, pick up the slack, pick up this alley-oop, this assist for me, and help me out. I'm good now. So, interviewer, I'm almost done on the stream. So, but that's okay. That's good content. The interviewer tries to track down the Good Brothers, get an interview with them because she was under the impression that the locker room she was at was for the Good Brothers. Turned out to actually be Rich Swann. He talks about how he's glad to be back. He actually came back here to support his boy Willie Mack, even though he didn't win, and then made a reference saying that he's coming for that Impact World Title, and he wants to go into the World Title scene. Which for me, I don't really believe him as a credible world champion, but if anybody can turn a cruiserweight or a guy that was like in the lower card in WWE into a world champion material kind of guy, it's Impact Wrestling. They've done it in the past with guys like Matt Hardy. Yeah. And the NEC3 is a great example, which we'll talk about later on. And Heath Slater. I have high hopes for what they'll do with Heath Slater down the line. So yeah, Rich Swann talks about like that he's going to go ahead and like probably challenge for that world title, which was foreshadowing. But next up, we had the Knockouts women's title match. Jordan Grace, the champion, taking on the challenger, Deonna Purrazzo. This was a good match.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, it was aggressive. Deonna Purrazzo targeted the arm. It was very back and forth. A lot of big moves by Jordan Grace. Did the result at all surprise you, man?
It did. I mean, we just didn't think she would lose. I mean, that's just brass tacks of it.
Man, so what were your favorite parts of this match, specifically for you?
The psychology part of it, Deonna going after the arm because she was getting Jordan was just ringing her with those goddamn forearms the whole fucking match. So took that arm out and made it all difficult for her. But it was also dope, Jordan selling and getting those one-handed body slams off and shit too. So the psychology of the match was fucking awesome.
For sure, man. I thought it was good, and like you said, like I mentioned, Deonna Purrazzo worked the arm. She hit her Fujiwara armbar, but it was a modification of it where she grabbed the other arm too and really wrenched it in there. And at that point, Jordan Grace had no choice but to tap out. And Deonna Purrazzo, like a month into Impact Wrestling, is the new Knockouts champion. We mentioned this, I think, on the prediction show. That NXT fucked up with her. She could have been a big name, a big player in that NXT Women's division, and now you look at her on Impact Wrestling, and she's one of their top stars already a Knockouts champion. That's unbelievable to me. That's crazy. She's lights out in the ring, and she's fucking dope on the mic too. Like it's like, I mean, I don't know if it was the right time, like you said, a month in, but I mean,
we both said that she's definitely future champion material. So
And
a little fat, a little quicker than normal, but
I'm with it. Hey, look, here's the thing. We just saw Kylie Ray go ahead and win that Knockouts #1 Contenders Gauntlet match. Now you have Deonna Purrazzo as the new Knockouts champion. Their dynamic is going to be really fucking good. They're already close friends, and as we've seen in pro wrestling, if you're close with someone, if you trust someone, that's how you know you're going to get the best out of that match. Just look at guys like Shawn Michaels and Triple H. They loved each other. They were best friends, and they beat the crap out of each other. There's going to be the similar thing here, and I can't wait. So the dynamic already between Kylie Ray and Deonna Purrazzo, I'm all for it. I'm 100% behind that feud. And again, like with the whole Kylie Ray being too friendly, too nice, that could be her downfall, and Deonna Purrazzo being the heel can totally take advantage of that situation and then lead down the line, maybe at Bound for Glory 2020. Yeah, Bound for Glory 2020. That's when Kylie Ray finally picks up the big win here. And they could always circle back to Jordynne Grace getting a rematch for her title,
which they're probably gonna do. So we'll see how it goes. Move forward.
Yeah, for sure. So before we get talking about the main event, let's pay attention to the chat because it's been popping off a little bit. Matt Ritter says, "Is Chris Bay your bae, Vince?" And yes, Matt Ritter, Chris Bay is my bae. Let's see. We have Colby in the chats. So how's it going, Colby? Thank you for joining in.
Colby.
wrong kind of Kobe, man. But how's it going? Rambo0293 says, "Sup guys, how's it going, Rambo?"
What's up, Rambo? He's becoming a regular too.
Yeah. Shamrock. Kobe said Shamrock put on the worst wrestling display on anyone in 2020. Yeah, man, he's up there.
I don't even remember him. So that tells you about as bad. As it is. Like, I literally can't remember one fucking move I remember that heinous ass drop kick he tried to do.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That's about the only thing.
Didn't at one point you tried to do a dive and just like rolled out to the mat outside?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible. Kobe again says Alexander is a fucking animal. I agree 100%.
Yes.
Road Show says, "Hey, I got that same shirt, Mr. Wolfpack forever." So that's a shout out. That's a shout out to you. Full Life says Kai Tai. Benji is in the chat. How's it going, Benji? I don't know if you're still here or not. Kobe says, "Have I mentioned that Shamrock sucks yet?" No, you haven't, Kobe. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Listen, Kobe, we didn't bring him up one time. We talked about the tag match. Never said one word about him. That should give you a hit.
we talked a little bit of Sami Callihan, just like for like a split second, but we focused mostly on the North.
Right. This was a thrown together feud. Just a stopgap to get to the pay-per-view. It is what it is.
D-Rod says AEW Dark is a great name for the show. Keep your TV off /dark while watching it. Nice little zingers. I'm glad that D-Rod's on my side with hating AEW. I don't hate it. I just like to shit on it just for shits and giggles. Colby again says AEW makes me want to punch my dog. I don't have a dog, but if I did, oof.
That escalated quickly.
Jess Tyson is in the chat saying, "Hi Vince." Hi, how's it going, Jess? Don't worry, Kyle. I will stay away from your wife. Benji says match of the night. Match of the night for you. What was it?
Chris Bay and Willie Mack, like by far.
Yeah, I think that was the best match for me. That was the match of the night for me. It had the most high pace. The main event, I feel like it was a letdown because of the surprises. We'll get into it. We're just going to get into the chat a little bit more, get a couple more in here. Kobe says, "I got here late, but I liked an honorable mention of how dog shit the Gauntlet was." Wow, Kobe. The Gauntlet was...
coming in hot.
He's coming in. Kobe, man, we got to get you in on our unpopular wrestling opinion show, man. I think you'd be perfect for that show, man. I thought the Gauntlet match, the result was right. It could have been better handled.
It wasn't a Gauntlet match. It was a fucking Battle Royal.
It was. Rambo.
I don't think they remember how the Gauntlet matches fucking work.
No, I think they just kind of forgot what Gauntlet matches were all around. Going back to the chat, Rambo says, who watches Impact Wrestling these days? Well, apparently Rambo, the Smack Raw podcast does. RN does. He keeps up with it on the regular. I watch it from time to time because my girl, as you can see, Kylie Ray, is on there, and she's the number one contender, so I got to check it out. Kobe says double arm bar was dope. Yes, agree.
Yeah.
Rambo's like, got your back, bro. I think he's referencing the gauntlet match or Ken Shamrock being trash. I'm not sure which one it was. Kobe says it's a shit show. Vince, don't read it. Let's see. I think he's referencing the chats, not to read the chats. Rambo's like, sub homie. Kobe's like, shit rock needs to stop getting TV time, please. That's a new nickname. Kobe's like, Sammy Callahan looked like prime Eddie Guerrero with shit rocks in there. Man, you know what? Sammy did look good. I don't know if he looked like prime Eddie Guerrero, but you know, Ken Shamrock will make just about anyone look good. Maybe even Marie. That's the question. Chat, what do you think? Eva Marie, Ken Shamrock in 2020. What do you think? D-Ross says, I hate it. Join the dark side, Vince. Kobe says, Bay and Mac was for sure the best of the nights. And Kyle says, stay the F away from my wife. No worries, Kyle. Me and Jess just have a friendship. I feed into the gimmick. So let's get into the main event, man. We're 40 minutes into the show. I thought this is really fun. I'm definitely going to go ahead and check it out later. Main event time. Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, and two mystery guys to determine the new the new Impact World Champion, who was vacated by she who will not be named, Tessa Blanchard, even though I just named her.
Racist.
Yeah, fuck all that. Anyway, she's not getting any TV time or any exposure on our podcast, and this is coming from an old Tessa Blanchard guy. So we start things off. Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, they're the first people to come out. Rich Swann comes out next, and then we get Eric Young. They were the two mystery guys. Honestly, pretty much of a letdown. Pretty bummed out that these were the two mystery guys. Nothing against Eric Young or Rich Swann. They're just not big enough names for me.
Eric Swan. Eric Young needs to just stop. Like he was decent in the ring, but I mean, just to look like he looked like he was sick. Like he looked like he only had a couple of days left, bro. Like I don't know if that's intentional to look like he's on chemo or some shit. Like I don't know what the hell was wrong with him, bro.
Yeah, it's it was one of those weird things when he moved over to Raw and then he just shaved everything just to be different, just because he wasn't Sanity Eric Young anymore. But it didn't feel right. He was still trying to play like crazy Eric Young, and it just didn't work off to me. I do love his pile driver. He has a really mean pile driver, even though Sammy Callahan does the exact same move. Unfortunately, my guy Trey Miguel, he got eliminated first by Eric Young with that pile driver. Going back to the two mystery guys, I was kind of hoping it'd be like a Mike Bennett or like a Rusev or someone bigger, you know. Honestly, I would have popped harder for Heath Slater to be the guy.
Right.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know, man.
I just don't understand how you advertise these people and advertise this for 2.5 months for it to be two people that aren't really a big surprise. Like,
yeah, no. I mean, Eric Young, I didn't even hear his name being popped up at all. Rich Swann, it's like, look, I love you, Rich Swann. You're a solid wrestler and shit, dog. But I don't think he's like a world champion material guy. And even though Eric Young was, I don't think he is either. So
shucking and jiving, bro. Shucking and jiving.
Once we got to the actual five guys, I was actually rooting for Ace Austin the entirety of the match. That's who I wanted to win, especially since he has this heavy, the Madman Fulton. I thought that was my guy and my pick. Eric Young afterwards, he goes ahead and eliminates Rich Swann. Oh no! Eric Young gets eliminated by Rich Swann with a roll-up attempt, and then Eric Young just snaps. He attacks Rich Swann. He does the cane thing that he used to do back in like the early 2000s, where he puts like the steel chair in between the knee and then just stomps on it. He attacks his knee on the ring post, which again I did not know about this because we're not watching Impact like that. But he went ahead and like attacked the previously injured knee, and commentary made it seem like he's gonna be out for like another year. Rich Swann was.
Yeah.
Eric Young does leave, and Ace Austin comes in and tries to capitalize on the situation and almost gets eliminated like 2 or 3 times by Rich Swann, which I thought was a good way to like build up tension, especially since I was rooting for Ace Austin, and I was like, oh man, are we really gonna get Rich Swann versus versus Eddie Edwards to be the final two. Didn't turn out that way. Ace eventually does get the pinfall and eliminate Rich Swann. Come down to the final two. Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, and once it came down to this, like, dude, I can't fuck with Eddie Edwards. I can't get behind him. He just seems like
he just seems like generic John Cena, man.
No. I'll do you one worse. He feels like a poor man's Tommy Dreamer / Sandman in 2020. That's what he feels like, and I can't get behind him. I can't.
And then find out that he does that stupid ass knee, the Boston knee party, which is just the last shot. Like, bro, like you can't think of something better than that. Like that move is, everyone knows I love Adam Cole. That move is trash. Like that move is not gonna hurt anybody. Like I don't get it.
Yeah. So he goes ahead and unfortunately does pick up the win against Ace Austin. Hits the Boston knee party, gets the win. After the match, he gets attacked by Madman Fulton and Ace Austin. And this is where I'm like, really? This is how you're going to close off Slammiversary? You hyped up this giant pay-per-view. No offense to the show. It was a solid show. But the hopes and expectations for this was very high. And this is how you close off the show. They get attacked. Good Brothers music hits. They come out. And they kind of teased like they might align themselves with Ace and Fulton. They didn't. They attacked them instead. Gun stun to Ace, and then Magic Killer to Fulton, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, it looks like they're aligned with Eddie Edwards. I don't know. I don't get it. Are they like beer drinking guy tag team faction? What's the gimmick?
FTR light. Like I don't know. It's this. Like I said, this was just another one of the most disappointing things. This I was so hyped for this, especially being that I've been on the Impact train and shit, keeping up with it and watching it, and they were actually delivering, and like this just did not meet any of the expectations for me at all. Like it was a letdown for me personally.
Yeah, the main event kind of really let me down. I'm not gonna lie, I was rooting for Ace or either Trey Miguel, but I knew Trey wasn't gonna win. Ace was the big guy that I was hoping that he would go ahead and get the victory here. And again, they not released that hype video where they show like images of EC3, Drake Maverick, Heath Slater, the Good Brothers, Mike Bennett, and of course the Bulgarian flag alluding to Rusev, I wouldn't have been overly hyped for this, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of EC3, he does close off the show. We get like right before like we sign off and get like the little signature at the bottom from Fight TV. We actually get like a little like backstage thing. Like EC3, I guess like he's gone crazy. Like he's just been in solitary since he got released.
Fucking glass against the wall and shit. Like what does that even mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like is he like an edgy EC3? I don't know if I'm with that because I kind of like pompous, arrogant EC3, which by the way is better than MJF. I'm just saying. EC3 back in his original Impact Wrestling run is way better than whatever MJF is doing. So that's just my personal take on things. Overall,
I can't fuck with the MJF slander, bro. Can't do that.
I'm sorry, man. I can't fuck with MJF. I'm not with him. But overall though, I thought this show got a solid C+, maybe B-.
It's a C for me.
Solid C. Okay.
Yeah,
right, for sure.
Because the matches itself were dope. I mean, it's just that they had so much hype around the surprises and everybody coming back that they didn't deliver on, and I think that's what killed it for me.
Yeah, that was the main thing. They should have just had EC3 in that match. Maybe try to get a Mike Bennett. I don't know, man. Throw Heath Slater in there would have been a bigger thing for me. But overall, decent show. Go ahead and check it out. It might, we don't watch Impact regularly. I don't, at least. So I didn't. A lot of the key like story beats I didn't properly get. Like Eddie Edwards and Ace Austin apparently had a feud that I had no idea about, so there was history there, and I guess that's what they were trying to do. But at the same time, they had a monkey wrench thrown in there. A bunch of trash people were employed by them, and they cleaned house. Good for them. But they're gonna rebuild. They're gonna be fine. The Knockouts division, by the way, amazing. X division, amazing. Tag team division, probably the best outside of WWE. Like non-WWE, they're probably the best. They're better than AEW for sure. Before we sign off, is there anything you wanted to address about the show in general?
No, like I said, the in-ring is awesome. Like I love their in-ring work. Like you said, from the women, the X Division tag teams. Like in ring, they're awesome. They just need to clean up the outside shit, like the audio issues and like the overhyping and stuff, and like dropping that damn hype video for no reason 3 weeks before the pay-per-view and shit. I forgot all this stuff. Build as surprises. Like that was the thing. It rubbed me the wrong way because I've been finally giving them a chance and making it a point to watch it and get behind it, support it, and then this is what they give us. Like I didn't like it at all.
I guess you can kind of say they closed off the show with like a wet fart almost.
Yeah, it was some WWE shit.
Yeah. Okay, so before we close off the show, we're gonna go ahead and acknowledge the chat before we sign off. Don't worry, chat. We stay tuned. We'll be ending the recap, the recording, but we'll come back to the live chat. Actually, you know what? We'll sign off right here, and then we'll go into the live stream of the chat afterwards. And want to remind you guys to go ahead and give this episode a download wherever you consume all your audio podcasts. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, go ahead and give our YouTube channel a subscribe. Helps out the show greatly. Give it a thumbs up. Turn on the notice so you know when a brand new episode drops. Check out us out on WrestlingNewsWorld.com. They have all the latest news, rumors, recaps, results of all things going on in the pro wrestling scene. Also, if you haven't already, later on, after you're watching this, go ahead and check out our Extreme Rules recap with the Kai Tai Show. Also, check out Unpopular Wrestling Opinions with Mr. 8984 and Synergy's own LSG. So check that out. That dropped earlier in the week. And later on, of course, stay tuned for our top 10s that we will be dropping on a weekly basis. So go ahead and check that out. Again, guys, thank you guys for watching. And live chat, we will be back.